WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American over here in Germany, tasting rare and exotic whiskeys again. I'm going to call this the bottle that does not exist. Why? You see the big TX here, right? So TX, but then you have straight Kentucky, you have the word Texas straight rye whiskey. 100 proof, 50%, 700 CL. On the back, you have here farm, distilled, aged, and bottled in Texas. Very, very good. And then you have the wonderful phrase Pernod Ricard. So they are the owners, but then you have WWWFR for Firestone and Robertson, the two founding members here, distilling.com, and you have www.ryes-drinking.com. So this is the bottle that does not exist outside of the Netherlands. Why the Netherlands, you ask? I really don't know. There is a online whiskey site that I've used quite a lot in the last couple of years, Drank Dozijn. So the 1, the 12, Dozijn is dozen, D, the drinks by the dozen, I guess is what it's called. And they, for some reason, are they exclusively have this bottle in Europe. No, I'm going to correct that. They exclusively have this bottle as far as I can see in the world. How they got it, that will remain a mystery to me. Now, if you go to the FR Distilling, Firestone and Robertson Distilling in Fort Worth, Texas. I was in Texas this summer, in June 2022, and the days that I had still available, the days that I were there, they weren't open. That was a little bit of a shame, but hey, it didn't work out. I got to see other people and so on. That was very, very nice. Got to visit someone from the Whiskey Crusaders. Hi. So it was actually great to be there at your home. But this bottle is actually, it is a TX whiskey, all right? So you have the nice little cork here with, it feels like a little bit of a leather moment going on here. All of these corks are individual. They cut up cloth and cut up material, make these corks. You have the nice little cloth at the top. You have the TX. You have all the information that's actually needed, but I cannot find any other information online about this bottle. Now, it says here on the website from Drank Dozijn, .de, a Texas straight rye whiskey is the result of the search for the ultimate whiskey from Texas. All ingredients for the whiskey come from this city. I think that's a translation. I think it should be state. All right, so which I believe. I don't believe that everything was gathered, created, grown in Fort Worth, Texas, but okay. And this is what makes this whiskey stand out from the rest of American whiskeys. Texas straight rye was actually here farmed, distilled, aged, and also bottled in Texas. And we have 50% alcohol, and then we have great aromas of fruits and spices. Good. I can solve the first part of the little mystery here. Pernod Ricard. What do they have to do with the TX whiskey brand? What do they have to do with Firestone and Robertson? They bought the distillery in 2019. First of all, they had bought Smooth Ambler, so anything you get from Smooth Ambler is Pernod Ricard, and anything you get from Rabbit Hole is the majority owners are now Pernod Ricard, as well as TX whiskey. So the French are coming. These are the people that own Jameson. These are the people that own Middleton with Redbreast and many, many other companies. Anything with Chivas Regal on it is Pernod Ricard. All right, so it's a big company. It's not as big as Diageo, but it's big, especially in the whiskey scene and industry. All right, so what am I going to compare it to? I have a whiskey that I absolutely love. It is called Lot 40 Canadian Rye Whiskey. I thoroughly adore this bottle, all right? This is the thing I go to if I'm looking for something that is just this is my North Star of rye whiskey, all right? I have, I like it. Let's just say that. The other thing I'm going to compare it to is the Journeyman. This is something not many people talk about, not a king. Whiskey, we have 45% alcohol, 500 milliliter bottle. So over here in Germany, this runs about 38 euros for 0.7, and this also runs about 35 euros for 0.5. From Michigan, right on the border to Indiana, very, very close then to Illinois, to Chicago, not that far away. All right, so we can actually try these and just compare them. Now, I did not, when I first opened the bottle of TX, have any expectations whatsoever. It's like, oh, I don't know what I'm getting into here. Who knows if it's even worth the money? I don't know about you, but TX whiskey has had a very uh, inconsistent history with making whiskey. The first one, the blended Texas whiskey, whatever, was very vanilla-like. Wasn't even a bourbon. Then their next whiskey, the TX straight whiskey, was actually interesting. They went up and down with the quality there. And this was like, oh no. Matt from Whiskey Crusade has talked about it many times on his channel. And they did have problems. And they've learned from it. And there was actually a master distiller at the there. His name was Rob Arnold. He wrote a book called The Terroir of Whiskey, A Distiller's Journey into the Flavor of Place. I thoroughly enjoy that audiobook, all right? I've listened to it twice. He really gets into terroir. He really makes us understand why almost all whiskeys out there in America do not have terroir, and it's called a grain silo. If you put everything in one silo, you take everything out, you mix it all together, there is no terroir. But if you actually work with single farms and single grains and single distilleries, you can actually do terroir. And if you've ever been to Waterford, you know that that's their topic in Ireland. And even Bruichladdich is working on that in other places as well in America. All right, and so this is very, very good stuff. So the first time I actually smelled it, I'm going to try to reenact my reaction to this. Wow. I smelled this and was like, that's good. That's even better than good. There is a lot of vanilla. There is a lot of cinnamon. There is a lot of clove going on here. There's a little cardamom. It's very, very spicy, but there's also vanilla honey. There's vanilla, there's tobacco. There's pecan nut. There's some rye going on in here. Some of that. Wait. Mm. 50% alcohol, wonderfully placed. And when you breathe in, you get a little bit of that menthol moment. It's good. It's so good. As I said, I was expecting nothing. I was like, uh-oh, what's it going to be? I don't know. This is a solid B whiskey. Now, if you've watched this channel for some time, you know I do not lightly hand out Bs. I almost hardly ever hand out an A. I'm not a B plus. I'm not a B minus. I'm going to have to spend more time with this, but this is a solid B whiskey. On sale, 39 euros at the moment. Normal price is 42.95, so 43. That's worth it. This is a C plus whiskey in Europe. I have no idea what the price is going to be in Texas or USA or UK or Australia or any place else in the world. At the moment, I can't buy it in Germany. I have to buy it from a Netherlands online platform shop, and they're the only people that have it. And I found nothing. Nilch. Zero. Absolutely nada. I'm not allowed to use Russian anymore. Null, that's German. Nix, that's German. Online about this whiskey anywhere. Not even on the website of FR Distilling. They do have a few whiskeys on FR Distilling and Whiskybase where there was an experimental rye series, but they were all over 60% ABV and single casks. This is not 60. This is not 60% ABV. It's 50. It's small batch. It's not single barrel, but it's absolutely hitting that mark where I go a sweet, spicy, almost a type of like a Christmas in a bottle type of wonderful gingerbread, spicy, sweet. The wood is very, very subtle. There's no mention of an age on here, but yet it says straight, which means I have to say that this is 4 years old. If it's not 4 years old and you put straight on it, shame on you. It would be illegal. So Pernod Ricard should know more than that. So 4 years ago, minimum, at least somebody made this. They bottled this, and it's absolutely gorgeous whiskey. Just in comparison, the Not a King here from the Journeyman Distillery, which I actually liked. I think I gave that a C++ B- on my whiskey review in German. I don't even know if I did one back then in English or not. My rule used to be I would only do the English video if no one else had done one. And so about half the stuff I did back then was with English and with German. I have 3,000 plus subscribers now, and people watch my videos and they want to know my opinion, everything. And so I basically said, why not do every video? I do a video in German, and then I just click the button and do the video in English, which means my English videos are conciser usually than my German videos, believe it or not. Now this is a lot more of a spicier, doughy, as in cookie dough moment. I like this better. Mm-hmm. It's a darker moment. There's more molasses here. It's I'm gonna stick with like dark breakfast tea that has been seeping too long, a little bit of molasses, a little bit of almost like a furniture polish moment going on here. This has depth. This has goodness in it. I'm going to still stick with my C++ B-. I actually like this a lot. Very nice. 45%, 0.5 liter for the European market is not allowed in America. So I think they do different size bottles, maybe even a different label. By the way, the black, the light blue on the black is not the best. All right. So, and even the black hat on the black label, as we probably know, looks like something I would have designed a couple years ago without knowing what I'm doing. Sorry. So talking about not knowing what you're doing, we actually created this beautiful bottle with printed stuff on the bottle. We slap on a label on top of the beautiful printing. There's actually wording here that you can't read because you put this label on here like that. I still love Lot 40, but yet I sometimes think their marketing department that approved this bottle in the very beginning didn't really understand what they're doing. Sorry. Sorry, Dr. Don Livermore and your team there in Windsor, Canada. Love your stuff. Like the bottle shape, but I don't understand why we have things underneath the label we can never read. Lot 40. This is a calibration control whiskey for me. I have had this so many times in my life. I really, really adore the Lot 40. I know it. I love it. I'm at home. This is my North Pole. This is where I'm absolutely at rest. This is great. Yeah, I'm giving this a B as well. A different B. There's less power. The 50% is here. The 43% here. There's more vanilla here. There's more of that virgin oak going on. And there's more of a rye, 100% unmalted rye here. More of a rye moment just involved. Wonderful, wonderful whiskey. 38 euros over here in Europe. Absolutely, for me, a bargain. A great whiskey for a great price, for a great taste. Love it. If I go back here to our TX straight rye whiskey, sometimes whiskeys don't hold up after you taste something else. It's like, okay, I've had now I'm going to call them craft distillery here with Journeyman. I've had one of the big boys from Canada. I'm going back now to not the biggest distillery in the world in Texas, and going to try their rye again. And then it might just be that I just have to readjust my rating here. But on the nose as well as on the palate, What I didn't do in my German video was actually dilute this in any way. It's not necessary. I just want to see what happens. I'm going to stick with my solid B here. It's got more of an apple fruity moment going on here as well. So the official tasting notes say here. So we have aromas of apples. They turn into moments of spice, flowery, floral, vanilla, rye, apple, and berries. And then we get some brown sugar, vanilla, and oak, and the The finish is middle long with moments of vanilla and apple. It's almost like an apple pie with a lot of cinnamon in it. So what did water do to it? Did it destroy it? I almost made it creamier. Wow. Solid B, solid C plus for value for money. At least for me over here for about 40 euros. Crazy, crazy awesome. Pernod Ricard, thank you. Pernod Ricard, roll it out. Let more people have the chance to try this, find this, buy it, and enjoy it. And TX, so Firestone and Robertson Distilling. I wish you'd have more days open in the week where I could have visited you next time. So I'll be in Texas hopefully next summer, and I will be visiting my relatives there again. Hopefully I have the chance to drop by and actually see your distillery. I have to go visit a few other places as well, but it's on my list. All right, Whiskey Jason here. Thank you very much for watching, liking, subscribing, and also liking. Tell others about this crazy guy over in Europe. Sometimes actually tasting whiskey from America that's not available in America. Isn't that crazy? All the best. See you soon. Bye-bye.